why most people's goals fail, why people don't succeed, and what you can do about it. That's what we're going to cover in today's video. And by the end of the video, you should be able to understand fully why people quit and how you are never going to quit your goals again. So, without further ado, what are goals? Goals are just people's perceptions of future realities. Desires are the same thing, and future aspirations. So, most people are capable of using their mind to go to the past, go to the future, and also some actually are able to live in the present. See, it's crazy that our minds are actually meant to be in the present, but so many people spend most of their lives not in the present and don't know how to spend their time in the present. So when we think of our goals, or when we think of ideas, we usually tend to go to the future because that's where ideas and desires are. And I remember I would do this for the biggest time is when I would be thinking about, getting a six-pack. I would constantly be daydreaming about the way that I would look after I completed my cut. I'd be thinking about, oh man, it would be so nice to have a six-pack. Oh, it'd be so much nicer to get rid of this fat off my body. And I would just sit in these goals that I had of losing fat. And then eventually, I would go through cycles that I would just stop. I'd be motivated for a week. I'd stay in a calorie deficit, track what I would eat, make sure I'm not eating junk. And then a week later, I was like, you know what? I don't see anything happening. My goals aren't coming. I'm just going to give up. And what did this do? This just showed me that I'm not going to achieve my goals. I gave up and because I didn't see results. And now that I look back and think to myself, who in their right mind thinks they're going to lose X amount? In my case, I needed to lose 35 pounds. How did I expect to even lose 35 pounds in a week when I barely lost one and I already gave up? You know what I mean? It doesn't really make sense. So I started reading books, and one that stood out particular to me that taught me, if I figured out the name of the book, I'll let you guys know. But the concept of the book that I really want to share with you guys is basically the idea behind your mind can travel in different. Time is not a problem for the mind. Your body is stuck in the present, which is innately a good thing. But your mind, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, can travel from past, present to future. And when our thoughts are located in the future, but we are living in the present, and our present reality doesn't match with our future thoughts, this is where people tend to give up because they haven't allowed time to do their thing. Meaning, for example, the story I just shared with you guys, with my six-pack journey. I desired having a six-pack. I worked towards it for a week, and then after a week I didn't see any results, so I gave up. Because I was constantly stuck in this desire and this goal-orientated mindset that I didn't see my goals being fulfilled in that moment, and my desires weren't coming true. So I just thought to myself, okay, you're never meant to be. I was never meant to have a six-pack. It's impossible for me to lose weight. I might as well just give up. And that's a lot of people face this in anything that they try to accomplish or they try to pursue. Whether it be a business idea, a business venture, starting some sport, hobby. Some people start playing, let's say you want to pick up skateboarding. I had a similar situation with skateboarding. But let's say, for example, you wanted to pick up and start skateboarding. Let me explain something to you. You're going to suck so much ass at the beginning that it's not going to be funny, and you're going to want to quit because you're going to be so bad. You're not going to be able to land tricks. You're not going to be able to ride properly, and you are just going to be so bad, I promise you. And that, unless you're gifted, and that is just going to make you want to quit. Why? Because you suck. Because your idea and vision and perception of what got you into skateboarding, maybe it was a video on Instagram, on YouTube of someone doing some crazy trick, and you not being able to land that crazy trick or do those things, whether you've tried it for a week straight, is going to demotivate you. And then you're going to give up. You're not going to want to do it. So, what do you need to do? You have either one of two options, and both require time. The first option is just to keep doing it every day. You're going to keep showing up, you're going to keep trying, you're going to keep failing, and you're going to get through it. Why? Because you're going to get better every single day. You're not going to notice the intraday things of you getting better. For example, try a kickflip. One day you don't know how to do it, the next day maybe you spin the board a little faster, the next day maybe you spin it, and then eventually, whatever, you land on it. But you're not going to notice those minor changes in between each day. But then, for example, you want to, so that's number one. You try, you fail, you continually fail until you get it. And most of the time, this takes the longest amount of time. Why? Because we're learning and failing ourselves. This is what I did with trying to get a six-pack. This is why it took me X amount of time. I think for about 4 years now, I've been trying to get a six-pack, and finally, I'm on the right path. A lot of the time, I'm not trying to make excuses, but a lot of the time, or most of the time, why I didn't want to or stay committed to it was I was afraid of being small. B, I just don't, to be honest with you guys, I have a fucking huge food obsession. I love food. I can eat, and I am the family vacuum. So trying to get this six-pack has been almost the biggest headache and the biggest, let's say, leash that's been put on me. But it needs to be done, no excuses. And so it took super long time. And this goes into the second option of hiring somebody or learning from somebody, whether it be in books, podcasts, courses, or just flat out getting a coach to teach you the things that you want to be taught, to speed up your process. This is why we pay for so much money for medical schools, law schools, and etc., or even business coaches, because they've made hundreds of millions of dollars. You want to make hundreds of millions of dollars, so therefore you are going to pay them however much they charge to learn how to make those hundreds of millions of dollars. Same thing with fitness coaches. This is a plug, by the way. If you do want to get in shape, see your abs, stop looking at the mirror and feeling unmotivated and not liking what you see in the reflection, click the first link in the description. Let me help you get that six-pack you deserve. Feel that energy that you deserve and eat the way that you're intended to eat, not like a dog or a pig that just eats everything in sight, how I used to eat. Just like fitness coaches, they'll speed up your process. They'll speed up you taking 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and most of the time you just doing nothing about it or inaction, 2, 3 months, whatever your goals may be. It's important. So, how am I going to leave you guys in this video? I'm going to leave you, like I always do, obviously. Create more than you consume, serve others, love everyone. But most importantly is not to give up, because your thoughts, your dream, and your reality is in your mind. And your mind is not bound to time. Your body is. So allow time, as long as you're putting in the work, for your body to catch up to its dream reality, to the desires and goals that you have set for yourself. As long as you show up every single day, I promise you eventually, everything that you have desired, every goal that you've set yourself, if you constantly show up and put in the work, you will crush. Don't be bound by time. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.